10 Seiko watches that look like they cost 10 grand, and don't. A few cost less than your phone. Stick around, because number 1 wears like straight up luxury. Let's count down from 10. Number 10, Seiko 5 Sports SRPD55. We're kicking off with the watch almost every collector secretly started with. The Seiko 5 Sports SRPD 55 is a stainless steel automatic with a 42.5mm case, a rotating dive-style bezel, and a black dial that looks way more expensive than it is. Now here's the part that gets people hooked. Flip it over. There's a see-through caseback showing a real mechanical movement ticking away, powered by nothing but the motion of your wrist. No battery. Ever. It winds itself while you live your life. For the price of a cheap smartwatch that's obsolete in 2 years, this thing could outlive you and still keep time. That's why it's the number 1 recommended first real watch on the planet, and the perfect gateway into everything else on this list. Number 9, Seiko 5 Sports GMT SK001. Quick question, how much do you think a real mechanical GMT travel watch costs? 2 grand? 3? Sit down for this. Seiko does it for under 500 bucks. The SSK001 packs a genuine automatic GMT movement, meaning a fourth hand tracks a second time zone on a 24-hour bezel. Land in another country, twist the bezel, done. Before this watch existed, the cheapest mechanical GMT on Earth cost several times more. Seiko basically detonated that entire price bracket. And it wears with that same rugged SKX diver DNA, so it looks like a chunky tool watch, while quietly doing something watches 5 times its price due. If you travel, or just want to flex a complication nobody expects at this price, this is the smart buy. Number 8, Seiko Presage Cocktail Time, SRPB43. Time for a total mood switch. Put down the dive watch. This one's black tie. The Presage Cocktail Time SRPB43 has a dial finished in 7 layers of gloss that catches light and shimmers like the surface of a real cocktail, which is exactly where the nickname comes from. Here's the wild part. The curved box-shaped crystal and those slim, hand-polished hands give it the depth of a dress watch, costing $3,000 or $4,000. Slide it under a shirt cuff at a wedding, and nobody would guess it was under $500. It's still a self-winding automatic underneath, so you get mechanical soul with genuinely elegant looks. If your collection is all sporty so far, this is the piece that makes you look grown up. Number 7, Seiko Prospex Turtle SRPE93. Now we go underwater. Meet the turtle. And yes, that's the actual nickname, because of its rounded, cushion-shaped case that looks like a shell. But don't let the cute name fool you. This is an ISO-rated 200-meter dive watch descended straight from Seiko's legendary 1970s divers. Here's the detail collectors obsess over: the loom. Charge it under a light, and the hands and markers blaze in the dark like a glow stick. Seriously, it embarrasses watches costing far more. The crown sits at the 4 o'clock position, so it never digs into your wrist, and the whole thing is built like a tank. It's chunky, it's iconic, and it has a cult following for a reason. If you only ever own one Seiko diver, a lot of people would tell you to make it this. Number 6, Seiko Prospex Speedtimer Solar Chronograph SSC813. Imagine a Rolex Daytona and an Omega Speedmaster had a baby on a budget. That's the Speedtimer SSC813, and that black and white panda dial is pure vintage racing swagger. 3 crisp subdials, a tachymeter bezel, the whole motorsport look. But here's the twist that makes it clever. It's solar powered. Any light, the sun, your desk lamp, charges it, and a full charge lasts about 6 months in the dark. No winding, no battery swaps, no fuss. It's wrapped in a sharp 39mm case with a scratch-resistant sapphire crystal, and it channels Seiko's real 1964 sports timing heritage. So you get the soul of a luxury chronograph and the convenience of set it and forget it. On the wrist, people assume it cost 4 figures more than it did. Number 5. Seiko Prospex Alpinist SPB 121. Halfway there, and this is where things get seriously good looking. The Alpinist SPB 121 has a deep green sunburst dial with gold cathedral hands, and it is genuinely one of the prettiest watches at any price under $1,000. But it's not just a face. Hidden around the dial is a rotating inner compass ring, a nod to its roots as a 1959 mountaineering watch. Inside beats Seiko's upgraded 6R35 movement with a massive 70-hour power reserve, so you can take it off on Friday and it's still ticking Monday morning. Sapphire crystal, 200 meters of water resistance, and finishing that looks lifted from a luxury field watch. It threads the needle between rugged and refined so well that people rarely take it off once it's on. Number 4. Seiko Prospex Sumo SPB 323. Okay, we're into 4-figure territory now, and the Sumo earns every dollar. Here's the thing nobody tells beginners. This is the watch where Seiko's finishing quality actually shows off. Look at the case sides, and you'll catch mirror-polished surfaces so clean, they rival watches 3 times the price. It's a big, muscular 45mm diver, but because of the way the lugs curve down, it hugs the wrist and wears smaller than the numbers suggest. You get that 70-hour 6R35 movement again, a domed sapphire crystal, and a proper 200-meter dive rating. Enthusiasts call it the sweet spot of the whole Prospex range. Serious enough for divers, refined enough for a nice dinner. This is the one people upgrade to and then stop shopping for a while. Number 3 Seiko Prospex 1965 Diver/62 MAS Reissue SPB 143 Top 3. And if you put this on a stranger's wrist and told them it was a luxury Swiss diver, they'd believe you. The SPB 143 is a modern remake of the 62 MAS, Japan's very first dive watch from 1965, a piece that sits in history right next to the early Rolex and Blancpain divers. Seiko took that iconic design, slimmed the case down to a super wearable 40.5mm, and loaded it with modern muscle. Sapphire crystal, 200-meter water resistance, and the 70-hour 6R35 automatic. The proportions are just right, the dial has real vintage warmth, and the finishing punches so far above its price it's almost unfair. This is the watch that made the collector world admit Seiko had quietly mastered the luxury diver look, for a fraction of luxury money. Number 2. King Seiko SPB 281. Number 2 is the one that looks like it belongs behind glass in a boutique. King Seiko revives a prestige name from the 1960s, and the moment light hits that case, you'll understand the hype. Those flat, razor-sharp, mirror-polished surfaces are the same design language as Grand Seiko, the brand that genuinely competes with Swiss watches costing 5 figures. At a compact, dressy 37mm, it wears like jewelry, with an in-house automatic and a sapphire crystal. Here's the mic drop. Hand this to someone who knows watches, hide the dial name, and they will guess a price 2 or 3 times what you actually paid. It is the closest thing to a Grand Seiko experience without the Grand Seiko receipt, and that's exactly why it's this high on the list. Number 1, Seiko Astron GPS Solar. And number 1, the flagship, the one that feels like science fiction on your wrist. The Astron doesn't just tell time, it reaches up and grabs signals from GPS satellites in space. Land anywhere on Earth, press one button, and it locks onto your exact time zone, accurate to the second, automatically. And it does all of that on light alone. Solar powered, no battery changes, ever. Think about what that combination used to cost. Satellite synced, perpetually accurate, powered by nothing. Seiko literally invented this category. Many models come in featherlight titanium with sapphire crystal, so despite the space-age tech, it disappears on the wrist. Yes, it climbs past $3,000 for the fancy versions. But for genuinely cutting-edge, own forever technology, it still massively undercuts the luxury giants. That's your number 1. So, which one's landing on your wrist? Drop its number in the comments and I'll tell you if you've got taste. If this saved you from an overpriced Swiss watch, you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.